Welcome to a special edition of the Gerety Talks, as we talk to the winners of the Agency and Production Company of the Year by country winners. The Gerety Awards brings together some of the greatest creative leaders each year to look at work from a powerful perspective. The executive jury sessions that take place around the world each choose the Agency and Production Company of the Year from their country. This cut allows you to enter a single reel that includes 3 pieces of work from the past year. In 2024, the Gerety Awards held a joint Australian-New Zealand jury session, and Production Company of the Year was awarded to FINCH. Today, we welcome executive producer Lauren Bradley and directors Arundhati Tandur and Lex Hodge from FINCH to talk about these campaigns. So welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, congratulations on your award. What does this recognition from the Gerety jury mean to you and the agency?
Who wants to kick off?
You go, Lauren.
You can.
Right. What does it mean for us? I mean, it's so amazing to be recognized. I think learning more about Gerety for us has been a nice process to go through, knowing that it's judged all by women and that we're kind of giving out in our work that kind of feeling towards women, that there's inclusivity and that we're really taking a nice kind of angle on craft is really cool. So yeah, we're so stoked.
Yeah, agree. Completely agree.
Okay, so let's watch the reel and then we can talk about the campaigns.
Oh, underwear time.
Oh my god. Okay.
Ew. All right, shut up.
To introduce Modi Body period underwear to Gen Z, we created a new series built for the platform they love, TikTok. 5 episodes, 4 housemates, all getting their periods at the same time. A taboo-breaking celebration of life today for young menstruators.
I'm free bleeding over here!
Someone heard you were having an endo flare-up and they want to say hi.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to be gay.
With a production value of TV, crafted for 9x16. Featuring an entire Gen Z cast, crew and writer's room. Original screenplays dripping with Gen Z nuance.
Sapphic.
Period.
And original music for each episode. But we couldn't just put the series on Modi Body's TikTok channel and expect people to watch it. To make the algorithm work for us and drive views, we collaborated with TikTok to create an entire ecosystem of additional content. Each video tapping into a trend or popular topic. So when Fit Checks trended, we launched our behind-the-scenes version.
My jeans are from Swap, my top is from Swap.
When Come to Work With Me content became the craze, we captured our own on set.
Hi besties, welcome back to yet another vlog.
And it slayed.
Modi Body. I am obsessed.
I want to live in a house like this.
Yes, a new quiz series has just hit TikTok.
Qui s'appelle I'm Dying Inside.
Keine Ahnung, ob ihr die schon mal getragen.
Like I'm resonating with every single one of these characters.
Modi Body period undies. I love it. I love it.
I'm Dying Inside, a modern period drama that introduced Modi Body to a new generation of menstruators.
Okay, first I'm gonna get kind of slapped.
Oh, mate! Mate, you gotta get down here. There's these delicious beers everywhere and you can just take them. The jet ski, yeah, bring it down here, mate. I don't see a boat ramp. Definitely get the ute in. Nah, just a bunch of weirdos. Hold on, mate. I've just spotted another one. One sec.
We keep this place free from impurities to keep the pure blonde, ultra-low carb beer delicious for you.
What if the internet is getting some really basic and easily evidenced facts completely wrong? What if it's biased against half the population?
Hey internet, who has scored the most goals in international football? Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 118 goals in international football.
What about Christine Sinclair? How many goals has she scored in international football?
Christine Sinclair has scored 190 goals in international football.
Well then, who scored the most goals in international football?
Factually incorrect. Google is a little bit biased.
Introducing Correct the Internet, an initiative founded by Team Heroine and backed by the United Nations to right the wrongs of the internet. Our film led to a new tool developed to highlight the search results that create the bias and allowed people to report them. To ensure search engines didn't dismiss our reports as bots, we helped millions of people send unique feedback messages from their own IP addresses. Then, we revealed the incorrect searches each day so the world could take action.
When you go to the internet, they give you the incorrect information.
We encourage everyone to get on to Correct the Internet.
Because like Ruby said, it's just a fact.
It's fact.
It's not an opinion.
I hope that it does kind of continue to break barriers and this campaign is successful because that's really huge.
Athletes around the world made our voice louder. Brands adapted our campaign for their own audiences, and over 50 global organizations became supporters. The millions of reports from our tool even began changing results organically, which led to the biggest change of all. Google responded with landmark new product updates to correct the bias we uncovered. And now, Correct the Internet is part of new government inquiries into misinformation to help change the future of the internet.
And I am now an avid participator in the Correct the Internet. So if I see things like that, that you have a tool where you can actually go in and help correct it. So you change the narrative.
So the first campaign is I'm Dying Inside for Modibody. Please tell us about how this campaign came to life.
It was a really interesting process. It wasn't kind of a typical ad that we were making. The client Modibody paired up with Howardson, the agency, and they came to us with a series of 5 scripts that they wanted to make into a mini series for TikTok, so a platform that's specifically aimed for Gen Z. And yeah, it was really exciting because from the get-go, I think we were onto something that wasn't, or rather I hadn't really seen before. And I think it was a wonderful place to be really creative and think outside the box. And we kind of approached it like a web series, or the way you would structure a scripted TV show, but a much smaller version of that. And I think the challenges in it were framing it in a brand perspective. So that was kind of the process of making it. There was a lot, involved, and I think it was very experimental in terms of the process and how we got there, but it proved to be successful, I guess. And it was, a lot of lessons learned there. I'm not sure if I've answered that question properly, but that was the process.
And how was the feedback? Because I read you had 12 million views in just 4 weeks.
Yes, the feedback was incredible. Still kind of reeling over how well it was received. Did not expect so many views so quickly, and seeing so many people stitch videos and responses to the series online from like a vast range of content creators online from around the world was really affirming. And it just, I don't know, I think typically when you would make maybe a TVC, you're not expecting that big a response. And so I think a lot of that came from being so bold, and the client and agency taking such a risk in the format of how they wanted to approach this campaign. So the response has been incredible. And on a more minute level, I've had so many people just socially like tell me they've watched it. People I didn't think would be even interested, men, women, everyone from different demographics, so interested in the series. And so I think, the response was beyond what I think anyone could have expected. So it was really great.
I think it was also, even from TikTok's perspective, it was really exciting to see how they really valued what we had achieved. Through the process, there was a bit of pressure to have influencers front and center. It was Arundaty's choice to make sure that we really kind of made sure that our characters were actors and that we had this authenticity to the actual story that we were telling. And TikTok, yeah, it was just great for them to take that leap of faith as well and now see that as a really great formula to kind of have stories on their platform. So that was another great thing that came out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And the second campaign is From a Place Purer Than Yours for Pure Blonde Beer. Please tell us about this campaign.
Yeah, so this campaign is a rehash of a campaign that has existed already in the Australian market. I think it's probably about 10 years old. Lex, you might know as well. But yeah, it's such a brave idea from the agency as well to kind of reuse that idea. It's not like we're moving into a more pure world right now. So, the idea still really stands. And it was just also really fun to have the opportunity to work on kind of like a real solid beer brand ad. And yeah, it was just fun. So Place Pure Than Yours, about the idea of just this pure world being infected by a bogan Aussie. So yeah, it was just a really fun brief and just a pure craft opportunity to bring it to life.
And what were the biggest challenges?
The biggest challenges on this job, I think probably what I just explained, kind of holding true to the idea, but then also bringing it, like contemporizing it. So that's like bringing in diversity. Also, I guess that was the key thing for us from the challenge from a storytelling perspective was just making sure that it felt 2023. I think we shot it, 2023. So not, having kind of like a Swedish looking cast, let's say, but then also staying true to that idea. So that was probably a good challenge for us to overcome. And then production wise, it was just creating that world was loads of fun. We ended up shooting it in the middle of like New Zealand, North Island. And yeah, it was fun. It was a good one to kind of pull together.
Yeah, I've never been to New Zealand, but it does look very much like New Zealand when you look at the ad now that you say it.
Yeah, exactly. Weirdly, it was it was in my hometown, so it was worlds colliding. They hadn't seen many film crews down there, so it was good.
And was there anything that caught your attention when you received the brief? As you said, the brand wanted to reestablish their original platform and returning to its forested roots.
So it was through the Monkeys in Melbourne, and they're an amazing agency, and we've got a great working relationship with them. So I think anytime we see a script from the Monkeys, we're like, we know we've got a beautiful working relationship with them, but we also know, like, we trust their judgment and taste. And so yeah, straight away we just kind of hooked onto it. And the creative link, I think, was that we're like, wow, here's a really cool bear ad going again, and done in the Australian market. We just haven't really seen that for a long time. Like kind of bear ads kind of moved into a more activation world rather than focusing on kind of pure craft. So this was just an opportunity to really have some, like just go deep on craft and deep on performance. And Freddie Mandy was our director that brought that together. And yeah, it was good. I think he did a really good job.
And the last one we have is Correct the Internet for Team Heroine. Please tell us about this campaign.
So it's really just about challenging the global search engines and the bias that is held, internationally, I suppose, by our fact machines providing facts about sports coverage, and it obviously leaning super male-centric. And the campaign, the film itself is about a young girl asking the internet a question, she gets given the wrong result, she knows it is wrong and she questions it and she pushes back. And yeah, that's really the whole core of the campaign.
And do you think addressing biases will become more and more important in advertising? We have seen many campaigns of this type tackling this problem. And do you think advertising can help?
Absolutely. I mean, as filmmaking in general as a craft, I think, that's what we're here to do, is put people in situations that they wouldn't necessarily be in or understand, and, help people empathize with another person's life. So I think, advertising with, big like money spend and, placement on our TVs, they have the platform and the capacity to show these things to people and in a way that, other people might not necessarily. So I think also people just, they feel something from it, right? And so from a brand perspective, if you're giving someone an emotional reaction and causing them to, really get involved in something, I think that, it really has a place for both creatives, filmmakers, and clients. Yeah.
And are there any anecdotes on the shooting of these commercials you would like to share with us? Any behind the scenes stories? I'm always very curious about that.
Sure. I mean,
I learned 5 minutes ago.
There was a bunch of things that were interesting about it in terms of production challenges. But also like just hilarious things. Like I think when we were shooting at Eden Park, it was Accenture Song's Christmas party while we were shooting a commercial for, another agency. So that was quite funny. And they're like, what are they doing? But yeah, no, it was a really interesting shoot. The Eden Park were amazing. They came to the party, but they only gave us 4.5 hours. So it was a very tight shoot. We had to 3D print these sort of Alexa style speakers, by hand for days and days and days on 4 little 3D printers, and was definitely one of those jobs that you do for love, and you put everything into it, and you're scrappy, and you get the resources where you can. But yeah, it was a true joy. And my wee girl Serenity, who I had the privilege of working with, was just the best wee child ever. She's so fun, and she kept going till 3 a.m. So bless her.
3 a.m. I feel like similar to Lex's experience. I think on the whole, I feel like the beauty of Modibody was it came out of having limited resources, and out of that we had to build a lot of creative solutions, and those decisions actually ended up being the most, I guess, interesting and fruitful decisions we made, and it made the project what it was. So I think, yeah, we were discussing this, but I think the beauty of you're working with a lot of big clients that have a lot of money at stake, and these huge campaigns, they're pouring thousands and thousands of dollars into it, and you might just be working with a fraction of that to make something, but it really doesn't all the time. But it's really not the budget, but it's what you're able to do with it. And I think a lot of each director is different. They're not kind of there to just make the film, but it's what they're kind of pulling their own resources from, and it's also the creative solutions comes really from their own perspective, even sometimes when I don't even realize like I've made this decision because it's me. And the same way Lex would approach something differently to make something that's uniquely hers. And I think that's what, I don't know, good directors will do, is just creative problem solve, but do it in a way that's uniquely their perspective. So yeah, agreed, Lex.
Good words, such good words.
So what kind of projects would you like for Finch in the future? Are there any projects in particular, or brands or things that you would like to work with?
I think, in terms of overall for Finch, we love going on an adventure. I guess like we love things that are tough. Like I shouldn't say that out loud, but when that like anything, even just hearing Arundhati talking about budgets, that was a really tight budget. Correct the Internet was a pro bono job. So both of those jobs, but even with Pure Blonde, like it was like for what we achieved, I think anything that needs bravery or problem solving, those are the jobs that I'm personally always drawn to. But yeah, great stories, craft, collaborations key, like just opportunities to really have directors' voices on the screen at in the end product is really the jobs that we love. What about you, Arundhati and Lex? Is there anything specific that I need to be watching out for in clients or?
I want to get my hands on everything really. I think I'm at the start of my career, I'd say, and so I'm never avoiding anything. I think for the main part, what I loved about Modibody was that it just was so different, and it felt like a really special opportunity. Even at the start, before we'd even made it, I was like, this is a chance to do something really cool. And it, for me personally, it meshed something I'm really interested in as well, which is scripted and long form kind of structure. So I think scripts like that, again, like you said, that are a bit courageous and can be quite challenging, it's, I think, really worth committing to those projects, because there's so much at our fingertips to make these things really great and like just so much more elevated from what's on paper. And again, yeah, I think it's working with really incredible agencies and brands that are collaborative, because I don't think any of these projects we spoke about would have kind of had the success without a really good sense of trust and collaboration with the larger team.
Yeah, totally. Second, all of that. Yeah, bravery and trust, I think, are just my two favorite words that you've said. Yeah, I think, yeah, this job was a risk. We were basically going up against, some of the biggest internet corporations ever and saying, you're wrong. And so, yeah, I felt very fortunate to be able to work on that. And I think anything, again, that requires bravery, courage, anything that is challenging the norm, anything that's a longer form, would love. Yeah, I think, and just like anything that pushes surreal sensibilities for me personally, anything comedy, anything visually, aesthetically kind of out there or wild is what I'm really drawn to. So yeah, I think just keep the good times rolling, gang. Yeah.
And finally, what creative trends are you excited about heading into the next year, and how do you hope to apply them?
Oh,
it's a very good question.
Well, for me, definitely branded entertainment, like just more long form projects, brands investing in entertainment and seeing kind of return on investment being more than, eyeball numbers or data driven, but more so just about how they can think about like future demand, I guess, in a way of seeing how to bring in an audience that might not be ready to participate right now, but might be, in a year's time. So yeah, branded entertainment. It's fun, it's confusing, and every brief is
confusing.
I would have to agree with that. I think it is very fun, and because it's so early and it's starting to kick off, it feels like there's not too many rules around it. So I don't think there's any right or wrong way to approach it. So there's a lot more room for experimentation, I think.
Yeah, no, agree. I definitely would love to get on that bandwagon. It seemed to be incredibly successful for Modibody. So I think it's a really smart and interesting way to connect with people. So yeah, I think that is a great trend that's happening right now for sure. Well, is it happening? I mean, you're the benchmark, I guess,
Nah, just scroll TikTok a lot.
Oh, so thank you so much for speaking with us today and letting us know about some more facts about these great campaigns. Congratulations again on your award, and all the best for the future projects for Finch.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Soon.